Hey, how's it going, everyone? Aloha, everyone, and welcome to Thursday Live Lesson. My name is Aldrine Guerrero, joined by Mr. Aaron, the voice Nakamura. Say what's up, Aaron.
What's up?
And Mr. Kahai, the legend Fergan. Say what's up, Kahai.
What's up?
So, Thursday Live Lesson is here. You guys can ask us whatever you want. We'll try to answer as best as we can. You guys can send us videos for assessment, whatever it is that you guys want to do, ask, or however you guys want to interact with us. You totally can. This is kind of our town hall, we will address everything, right, Kahai?
Mm-hmm.
So first off, what are we gonna address, bud? You're gonna do questions. You're gonna do videos, assessments. You want to do what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Last week we said that the first thing we'll do is talk about the people who turned in a song submission.
Yes. See, that's why we give you the big bucks, Kahai. That's why, man. That's why you're making the millions of dollars.
Oh yeah, millions.
Billions? Is it billions now? Are you hanging out with the Amazon guy?
Quotation marks, billions.
Billions of fractions of a penny. All right, so here we go. Okay, let's say who put in a song. So we had a song. So I was gonna say let's name all the people who submitted songs, but let's talk about what we're talking about. First of all, for the people who are just tuning in, or if this is your first episode, on the show we do a songwriting challenge. So on the songwriting challenge, we give you guys some guidelines, or a set of chords, or anything. Basically, we give you a guide on what kind of song to write. You write it, we write songs. We show you guys what kind of songs we write, and then we give you guys another week to submit your songs to the songwriting challenge. And we pick a random person that submits a song, and we give them a nice little treat. So this time it's these right here, bam, bam,
and then
all sweet and salty. And then some, Persimmons? What
Persimmons.
Persimmons, right?
Starfruit.
I don't know. Keep thinking, why am I thinking persimmons? I mean, I'm just
season, that's why.
I guess so. I'm projecting what I want. All right, so we got Starfruit. We got from Hawaii. Let's just, because I think that, that really nails it down how special this is going to be. Starfruit and these sweet and salty treats. So we got milk chocolate macadamia nuts. We have Li Hing sour lychee. We have seedless Li Hing cherry. If you guys don't know what Li Hing Mui is, or what Li Hing is, Kahai will tell you. What is it, Kahai? Li Hing.
It's salted and dried. Is it originally salted and dried plum? Or
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that, they kind of take the flavor of that and they put it on a bunch of like candy or other stuff. So
goodies.
Yeah, you'll see a ton of that in Hawaii. Like Li Hing Mui, it's like Li Hing Mui arare, which is like arare is another thing that I don't know if people in the mainland know.
It's like rice, like a rice cracker, like a toasted rice cracker. Yeah, but coated with like soy sauce, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So people are like, "What? Soy sauce?"
And
arare.
Yeah, arare. Yeah.
Arare. What is arare? Yeah. If you guys ever make it here to Kauai, after the pandemic, of course, like after this all blows over, if you guys head over to Kahai's shave ice stand, because he has a shave ice stand, right, Kahai? Try the Li Hing Mui flavor. It's awesome. What would you mix the Li Hing Mui shave ice with? This is what people really want to hear. Yeah.
Li Hing Mui. Li Hing Mui Liliko can be pretty good because it's like kind of
that. No, we got lychee. Never mind. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's like a more tart. Li Hing Mui is more tarty and sour, and then Liliko is kind of sweet. So that's a good combination. Li Hing Mui lime can kind of be, or Li Hing Mui watermelon. I know
that sounds good.
Watermelon is a popular flavor with people who come from the mainland. So
yeah, if you can get Li Hing Mui powder, like maybe the next one, I'll buy some Li Hing Mui powder to give away for the next songwriting challenge. If you guys can find watermelons, just put the powder in like a Ziploc bag with the watermelons, or apples, or anything really.
Yeah,
like,
any wet fruit, I guess, that the Li Hing Mui powder will stick to. Right, it works well.
Stuff. Yeah. Okay. The next one, next songwriting challenge. So today we're going to announce the winner of the songwriting challenge, and we'll also do a new songwriting challenge. We're going to set it today. So who are our nominees, people who submitted submissions. Who are the people who submitted songs, Kahai?
The first one was from Hamsini.
Hamsini?
Yeah.
As usual, never fails to write a song.
Mhm.
And then
We had one from Chris and Sue. They've done other songs before too. And then we had another one which Chris and Sue recorded theirs, like did an audio recording and sent it directly to us.
Yeah.
But then the last person wrote out like chords and lyrics and said that like this is the song that I'm working on and I don't have it finished, but here's what I have so far.
Nice.
And so that one's from their username is Wild Child. So.
Yeah, nice song. Talks about Hawaii and stuff. You know, they were like read the lyrics. Pretty cool. Hamsini did an instrumental, pretty good. She did like a lot of cool little what do you call it? Like harmonies on the E and A string. Really awesome. Chris and Sue, they did a nice folky kind of 6/8 song. I loved it. Loved all of it. It was great. So anyone is a toss up. All of them deserve something, but we can only give one prize to one person. So we're gonna bring up this wheel of people. Wheel of not shout outs. Okay, so we got Wild Child, we got Hamsini, and we got Chris and Sue on this wheel. We're gonna spin the wheel. Whoever lands on, totally random, is going to get these goodies. So, Kahai, why don't you spin that wheel? All right. Looks like Chris and Sue. Chris and Sue, congratulations. So, we already have their information, right? We already have their mailing address. If not, why don't you email us, Chris and Sue, your mailing address so we can send you some goodies, some dried starfruit from be good from Hawaii. Dried starfruit from Hawaii.
Dried starfruit is like my nephew's. My nephew is 1 and a little bit, and it's already like one of his favorite things to eat too. Like I was telling Aaron, because Aaron's mom is the one who made it. And my nephew, when he sees it, he does the sign language for more already.
Oh, nice!
He's asked like,
wow, that is cool.
They got a box, and in the box was some. And my sister and my brother-in-law pulled it out, and as soon as he saw it, he just started going crazy with the more, please, more, give me more.
Nice. Does Aaron? Does your mom have like a dehydrator and stuff, or does she just dry them out like out in the?
No, they use the dehydrator.
All right, on man. I was at the store the other day because I wanted persimmons, and I saw like 2 different kinds. One that like kind of shaped like a heart, and one like the regular round shaped ones and stuff. Have you guys had the heart shaped ones? It's not really a heart. It's just kind of pointy instead of it being round on the bottom. It's kind of pointy on the bottom. Yeah. Never had it. Didn't get it because I was like, I don't know, but it says it's persimmon, you know. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe, but I figured I'd ask. And see if it's good, and maybe you guys could tell me if you, the audience, know if those are any good. Let me know because I love persimmons. I was gonna grab it, but I kind of chickened out last second and said no, I'm gonna go with the old tried and true. So those are really good dried. My friend Jason dries persimmons, and those are delish. Maybe I should hit him up. I'll call him up after the show. Anyway, so new songwriting challenge. Just think it out loud. All right, so new songwriting challenge. So what we like to do is, because we are live right now, there's some live people on the chat. Why don't you guys let us know what you guys want to see on the next songwriting challenge? So what we're gonna do is we're going to once again come up with a 3-word phrase. I want to do this again.
Oh, okay.
And write a song that way, and then all the extras are gonna come from our audience.
I was laughing because I remembered we mentioned Thanksgiving songs right last week, and that was I don't know if it was a year ago. That was one of our challenges right around Thanksgiving is to write a Thanksgiving song for a song challenge. So
okay, so let's come up with a 3-word phrase or 3 random words, and we're gonna write a song about those 3 random words. So I'm gonna go first, and my word is turkey. What? So who wants to go next?
You kind of
is it like can it just be they include the word, like we don't this doesn't
have to be in order.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I mean-
okay, we'll do it. We'll do it that way.
Starting off with a noun kind of
Yeah.
made it hard to
Oh, okay.
continue
Okay,
it,
you
yeah.
know what? That's fine. You can rearrange the words. You can just have the words be
Part
a
of the
part of the
lyrics or
yeah. Because last time
inspiration.
we kind of used all three words, but we focused on different words anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but I mean, they're all three like made sense to our songs and stuff. But yeah, it can just be inspired by these three words. Maybe just use it as an inspiration, or you can use them, as lyrics in your song. However, you guys want to just put them in order, whatever order you guys want to put them in. So yeah, turkey.
Turkey.
Yeah, because
Just-
Kahai it was gonna be something else, but Kahai is talking about Thanksgiving. I'm
Just
like, you know
for
what? Just do turkey.
Thanksgiving.
But it doesn't have to be, It's
Uh,
just my contribution.
or maybe just for I'll contribute thankful
Oh,
as the
thankful
I-
turkey.
I like what Devin said, and I was thinking kind of along the same line.
What's that?
So I'm gonna use Devin's one. Devin said jive turkey. So
Ooh,
jive is mine.
Thankful jive turkey.
I was gonna say
Or
groovy.
turkey
but
jive.
I like
thankful.
jive better.
Or thankful jive turkey.
Yep.
Yeah, so thankful, jive, and turkey. However you want to interpret these three words. If you want to add them to your song, go ahead and add them to your song. If you want to add one word, if you want two words, if you want to add all three words, totally up to you. Or if it's just an inspiration, totally fine. Now, the audience can give us suggestions on extras if they want to. Kahai, do we have any suggestions?
Kind of, but we could use like a genre suggestion or some stuff
Yeah.
like that too. But the one suggestion that I kind of see with two different people is both. So Jim said Liliko turkey jam, and Devin said turkey with Liliko stuffing.
Ooh.
So what if one of the bonuses is to also incorporate Liliko into it
Yeah.
somehow?
A little tangent. I've done that. Like I've cooked Liliko turkey before.
Ooh.
Or like, you know how some people like glaze, like their turkey and their ham and stuff. I've taken like the Liliko like jam or Liliko butter. It's Liliko butter. I used that and I smothered the turkey with it. And then when I cooked it, but I smothered it like towards the last hour, and then it just it's good. it's delicious.
My favorite thing, and I can have it like on almost any sandwich because it tastes so good, is Liliko mustard. Liliko mustard is so good.
But what was good about the Liliko butter is that like once it kind of dripped, and this is for all of you Thanksgiving people, I think you can order it on Amazon, maybe the Liliko butter, but the drippings that that come from the turkey, where you make gravy out of it. So the gravy kind of has that Liliko flavor to it too. It's delicious. It's so good. My Liliko turkey. I might make that again this year. Huh?
Devin's asking for a recipe. Like
that's basically it. Just make your turkey the same exact way that you normally make it, but just like an hour prior to finishing, just smother the heck out of that thing with some like Liliko butter, and then take all those drippings and make your normal gravy out of it, and it's delicious. It's awesome. Fed it to my mainland family, like Heather's family, and they're like, "What is this?" Don't worry, just eat it. Put it in your mouth. All right, so that's what else we got. So we got I guess Liliko, is.
So Liliko is passion fruit for.
For those people that don't know, Liliko is passion fruit. Is it a different kind of like how koa is what is that word?
Indigenous? Or...
No. Yeah, it's like an indigenous kind of acacia. I was like, what's the word? Acacia. It's kind of like acacia is that. So it's like, but is it like Liliko is a passion fruit that grows here? Is it like
I don't know. I think it's just the Hawaii's word for passion fruit.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think if people associate passion fruit though with juice usually, and like Liliko juice and passion fruit juice can kind of be a little bit different. Because
right.
I think, and then people who associate passion fruit or like who think about passion fruit, sometimes they think about pog, which is different from passion fruit or Liliko juice. So there's all
anyway,
those.
man, lots of tangents today. So
totally not. This is supposed to be a music-related show.
Yeah, I swear it is. Just hang on. We'll get to music sooner or later.
Didn't have lunch yet.
God. Any other suggestions from the audience?
So some people are saying we should do funk again, but we just did funk, right?
Yeah,
like funk and disco. Yoda said sounds like a Reggie song, but does he mean reggae?
Reggae?
I don't know. But he spelled Reggie.
Liliko turkey. Liliko jive turkey.
Make it into a Reggie song.
Wait, what was thankful? Thankful jive turkey is what?
Yeah,
is what the 3 words were. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Make it funk or make it reggae. I guess you can make it reggae or make it funk. I'm probably gonna try to go for another instrumental this time around because it's straight up food. So if I write another song with lyrics in it, it's probably gonna be food. So because the 3 words suggest food. But what else? Any kind of music things?
I thought of we did like the major second, right? In one. Then last week the major 7th, or was it the one before that? I think we did something like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
The 7th and the major 2nd and major 7th.
What if we did a major 6 or a minor 4th? Because we haven't done that.
All right. Minor 4 sounds good. Do minor 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Minor 4. So add a minor 4 in there. And these are just extras. Basically, all you got to do is write a song that's inspired or has lyrics or whatever.
When you think about.
Write a song that reminds you of the words jive, turkey, thankful. Thankful, jive, turkey. Okay. So however you interpret that, that's going to be your song. And that's the beauty of writing songs, right? It's about you and about your thoughts and your emotions that you're trying to convey. So that's why we love doing this. We just love encouraging you folks to get out your ukulele, strum a few chords, and write a song. Any kind of chord progression that that people want to try?
I don't know.
Let's go back to basics with this one, and let's do a 1-6-4-5. So that minor 4 you can add, to the 4 on the 1-6-4-5.
Is this like part of the guideline? Like they have to do?
No, it's just suggestions. Yeah, suggestions. Okay. The only thing they got to do is write a song to "Thankful Jive Turkey." Yeah.
Okay.
Can you give an example of that?
Okay, so for example, 1-6-4-5 is going to be C, A minor, F, G, or in G is going to be G, E minor, C, and D. In F, it's going to be F, D minor, B flat, and C. Okay, so the 4, it's going to be 1-6-4-5. So that means the 3rd chord in that. So C, A minor, F, G. So the F could be a F minor. So it could be. So you can skip the G and turn that into a minor, or you can completely skip the 4 and just add a 4 minor. So over here is reggae. That sounds pretty good, actually. I might steal that. So or in G, be the C would be the minor. So G, E minor, C minor, to the D, and G. Okay, so 1-6-4-5 use your suggestions. You don't have to do the 1-6-4-5. Another suggestion is form a minor 4, so you can add a minor 4 in your songs just to kind of spice it up a little bit. Put some Liliko in that turkey, right, Kahai?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so Cameron and Rob, they're talking about adding jazz as an option, and the last one we did, it was actually Add9 Chord, right? Like that was our bonus.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, Chris and Sue sent me a message and they asked, how do you know how to replace an Add9?
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of explained to them that you just really with like add chords or major 9 chords or any of those, you take a regular major chord and you just replace it with that one and see if it works. That's like the easiest way to do it. So can you maybe show some of that, like some ideas of like just replacing 7ths maybe?
So let's go with that C, A minor, F, and G once again. So the C, you can do a C add 9 instead. So it'd be a... So that would be an add 9 because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 would be the next one in the scale in C, right? So if we're doing G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 would be right here on the A. So if we play this, so because this is the A down here, same note as we found out with the scale. So you play G and add that note. So G add 9. So it can be something like C add 9, A minor with the... So there's that C add 9 to the A minor, to the F minor, which is the minor 4, to the G add 9. Beautiful chords.
Yep.
Jive turkey.
I think too, people are like cautious about doing stuff like that because they're like, oh, well, how do I know if it works?
Yeah.
And just the easiest way is to try it and then trust your ear, right? Like if it sounds good, then it works. It probably works.
Never stopped the Beatles from doing anything like this. Or never stopped Jimi Hendrix from doing anything. They're like, sounds good here.
Jimmy,
don't let people go like, it doesn't make sense there. They're like, yeah, to me it does.
Jimmy, you're playing the wrong note. Do you know that? You have to play the right notes.
Yeah, I would like to see somebody tell Jimi Hendrix that they're playing the wrong note. It's like kind of telling the rock you're bench pressing wrong.
Oh, that is totally not the way to do it. Yeah,
because we were talking about the Rock earlier. Rock, Mr. Sorry, Mr. Johnson. You need to, shoulder width apart, or whatever. Just do it. You do you.
Rob in the chat is asking, is there a difference between a 9 chord and an add 9 chord?
Yes, there is. I believe it's just the substitute. You're adding the 9, and then the 9 chord is that you're substituting the 9 instead of the 1. So for example, this add 9, you have the 1, 3, 5, but then with the add 9, you're just adding the 9 to it. Okay. Whereas the C9, you would basically play instead of the 1. So that would be a C9 because you don't want this 1 there, which is basically the 8, right? So to be you're doing the 9 with the 3 and the 5. Or, I'll stick to that. That instead. But it's just about substitutions. But I don't know. This is one of those times I would call up Abe and be like, Abe, can you tell me exactly the difference between a C9 and a C add 9?
This is like when you finish every sentence with a question mark. It's like, and then it becomes a C9?
C9, I guess.
C add 9?
Yeah. So that's why we went with C add 9, because that's the one we know for sure that you just add the 9.
Yeah, that's a easier one to do.
Right on. So so that's our song challenge for this edition. Because I want to say like for this month, because we don't do it every month, right? What would you say, Kahai?
Yeah, we kind of do it every 3 weeks about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This one, it was we did it 4 weeks because I didn't have the wheel ready last week to pick somebody.
The prize this time, I will get a jar of Liliko butter and a packet of Li Hing Mui powder. That is the prize this time. So write those songs, okay? Because I guess, I don't know, you might get it before Thanksgiving. So when you make your turkey, you can slather on that Liliko butter if you want to. Right?
Well,
maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, Devin mentioned anti-Liliko's.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that I use. No, I use the one with the with like the Hawaiian like symbol or the crest or whatever on it.
Oh.
I don't think it's anti Lilikoi.
Yeah.
It's like a black bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Do you know
but
what I'm talking about?
anti Lilikoi is
That's a good
made
one
on
too.
Kauai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of the you go to all the grocery stores and probably there. Yeah, I think 'cause, like, they usually have some
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like even if it doesn't get by Thanksgiving,
Let's just make it. Oh
Yeah.
you can put it on ham. Ham
Yeah.
is good. Yeah. So
it's
you know.
great on
Yeah,
pretty much
for
anything.
Christmas.
Yeah, for Christmas. For
I'm
Christmas.
like, if you're making a big Thanksgiving dinner, right? You probably have leftover turkey and ham, and
Yeah.
you just put it on top afterwards, and
or
it's
you just
gonna
you know,
taste
make
good.
regular like gravy. You make like powdered whatever, like the McCormick powdered gravies. Just add a little bit of that Lilikoi butter in there. It's like, as Kahai's nephew would say.
No, yeah,
more.
more, please, more, please. Yeah.
All right. So, next order of business, Kahai. Do we have questions?
I don't think so.
Do you
Yeah.
have questions from the live audience?
Yeah, I think Rob's question about the 9 was the
Mm.
last one. So
Yeah. Any other orders of business? Because I mean, I can talk. I just want to make sure that like we go over what we're supposed to go over. That's
I think that's it.
all good.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with the with the times now, I'm kind of like just I have more time to practice my ukulele, and the people that I've seen recently on the on the private lessons, I get a lot of the like, how do you practice? Now I have more time to practice, and we've talked about the 30 minutes and stuff. And some people ask me like, what if you don't want to do that? What if you want to mostly concentrate on songs? Like, how do you practice a song? Say like, you're gonna perform this song with your ukulele group like in a week or a month from now. Like, how do you have an effective song practice? And I don't think we've ever talked about that. So I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't think we've talked about that before. We've always like, no, you play songs and that's playing. That doesn't count towards practice. And I still stand by that. But if because I guess
if you're adamant about playing a song as practice and just calling it practice,
Yeah,
it's
well,
not...
they made a good point though. When they asked me during the private lesson, it's because like, when they were taking piano lessons back when they were kids and stuff, they had like a like a piece that they were working on. So it's like that song was what they practiced.
I guess.
And then I mean, of course, I explained. I'm like, okay, well, get this though. If you practice that key, like the key of whatever that song is in, and you practice those chords that are present in the song, you are going to get better at that song and every other song that's in that key with those chords in it. But yeah, if you're adamant about like getting that. But there is, I mean, and I thought about it, and I really thought about it, and I'm like, okay, how would I go about practicing a song so that I can get better at that song? And I thought about this, and I kind of just like compared it with my journeys before, like when learning a complicated song. So for example, I did practice songs like While My Guitar Gently Weeps or Body Surfing or Europa. Like how would I practice those songs? So that's the topic of discussion. Now, how I would go about doing it is I would go about doing it just like how we do most of the lessons. If it's a singing song, if it's a song that you play and you sing and there's a picking, I would do it exactly like how we modeled the song lessons. Okay. Make sure you know the chords, make sure you know the key that the song is in. Okay, so if you can get those chords down, that means anytime any one of those chords pop up in the song, you're there, you got it. So how do I do that? I do chord switching exercises. So for example, the song has G, B7, E minor, C, C minor. Let's just say that. Let's just not pick any like easy chords and stuff. Okay, so it's a rather interesting chord. And it's not a chord progression. Those are just all the chords in that song. It can, like sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. Okay? But let's just say that. So G, B7, what did it say? E minor and C minor. Okay? So G, B7, E minor, C minor. Those are all the songs or all the chords in that song. I would take 2 chords from that, 4 chords, right? And I would switch between just the 2 chords. like for example, G and B7. I would go G, B7, then back to G again. And then, since I started out with G, I went to B7. Now I'm gonna do G and E minor, because that's the next switch. So G to E minor and back. And as a bonus, I know I'm kind of strumming it in, you know, like a pop kind of way or a reggae kind of way, but I would want to get to know those chords so much that I would want to kind of play them in whatever genre that I can think of. I would play them reggae wise, or I would play them like kind of slow, you know. So it doesn't get boring, because the main thing that you want to focus on is this hand right here. So this hand, right hand, can do whatever it wants. You can play it how the song is, but that gets boring for me anyway. Okay, we're talking about how I would approach it. I'll do like kind of, you know, like a slow song, like an R&B version of it, you know, if I want to, and then back and forth. I do a reggae. Maybe I'll play around with the rhythm. Maybe I'll do like 3/4. Or 5/4. Yeah, you know, just kind of making it interesting. Once again, go G, B7, G, E minor, G. What else did I have there? G, C minor, right? So G, C minor, and I practice that. You know, maybe for the first 5 minutes. You know, just practice those with a G. Next 5 minutes, I'd work on the next chord, which is B7. So I already did B7 to G, so I can skip that. Now I'm gonna do B7 to E minor. And then B7 to C minor. And then you kind of see where I'm going, you know, where I'm going here, and E minor. Since I already practiced E minor to B7 and E minor to G, all I got to do is practice E minor to C minor, E minor to C minor, E minor to C minor. And from there, I got every single chord in that song, and every single chord change possible. Okay? So I've trained my fingers to move like how they're supposed to between each chord. Now, after I get the chords down, that's 5 minutes of me just kind of working on the chord. The next 5 minutes, I'm going to spend on the rhythm. So I worked on the left hand. I'm going to work on the right hand. What is the groove? Because I worked so hard for the last 5 minutes with my left hand, I'm going to give it a break and just place my my hand over it. Does this song that I'm working on have a recorded version of this, or does it? Is there a tutorial? Is there a play along somewhere? I'd put that on. I'd put the MP3 on. I'd put it on Spotify. I'd put the record on, whatever you guys are using to learn a song, and then just kind of moving my right hand with the recorded version of it. If it does not have a recorded version of it, then think how you would kind of either clap that song, snap to that song, and just feel out the heartbeat of the tune. Like I said, I'm modeling this after how we do our lessons here. Okay, so I would just kind of get the heartbeat of the song, do maybe double time, and then do the down up, down up, down up, and then syncopate it how I would, and I'm just kind of put myself in the seat of the drummer or the percussionist. It's like what kind of
can you maybe can you guys like kind of demonstrate that? Maybe can Aaron like do like actually play something?
So Aaron's gonna play something. I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna do this so I don't see what he's doing, and I'm just gonna feel it out. Okay, so go ahead. Nice. So here I'm just gonna feel out the heartbeat. I'm imagining myself in the drummer's chair. Nice. Double time. And I'm listening to when he gets louder and when he gets softer. And I'm kind of snapping to when he goes louder. So I'm gonna add that. These are all just down strums. And I'm kind of going along when he gets louder. It's basically him adding an accent to it. So I'm following his accents. Okay, add the up strums. Now notice we're not strumming exactly the same, but I am playing along with Aaron rhythm-wise. And now I'm gonna listen carefully to when he's strumming and see if I can voice it out. So just sing along to the rhythm. You know, you're not doing 1 and 2 and or whatever, or up chunk up whatever. You're just doing da. You're just scatting. Okay, everybody can scat. Then translate that to your hand. So now when I add the chords to it, go. Since I'm the drummer, I don't have to just play the same rhythm exactly the same every single time. It'd be kind of boring. So I'm still imagining myself in the drummer seat. And that's kind of how you want to, you want to use your right hand to follow a groove. I'm not thinking about down chunks up whatever strumming pattern, that these kids are talking about nowadays. That's how I would do it. I would listen to it and do that. So now I know the chord. I'm gonna go look at the song. If it's a singing song, that's when the lyrics and whatever comes in, because I know now how to play the song rather well. I know the rhythm, I know the chords, I can switch between chords. If any kind of funky changes happens, I'm on it, So maybe if it's not a chord progression where it's changing the same way every time, maybe he goes to a B7 from a C minor, not gonna be a surprise for me, What was that, Guy?
When you're kind of doing all the like more fancy stuff, and you said you're like kind of in the place of the drums, like really like going off, that's like also that's not necessarily what you want to do during the performance, right? Like, no, I'm gonna just, but then it is good to like learn those kinds of things, and you can learn them for options. Like, oh, this part has like it's great if I add in a build up right here, and I can add in like a harder strum, or like this part really needs like that, something that fill.
It's kind of based on how the song goes. Right.
Yeah. So
find the flow of the song and kind of match that flow.
Yeah, and right now when you're practicing is the perfect time to experiment to see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to do that
wrong so that you can figure out.
So you know what's wrong and you know what's
that doesn't fit.
And I've always, so if we're talking performances and stuff, I've seen my fair share of like group performances where each and every person is doing the same exact strumming pattern and the same exact way, and it's like, quoting Sister Act 2, they're like an army, they're like an army. So it's one of those. It doesn't necessarily sound like that great. Even if it's just a 10-person group, if those 10 ukuleles are doing the same chord with the same strum, it
becomes like a drone.
How do I say this nicely? Like it becomes,
well, it sounds fine, right?
Yeah, it's totally okay.
It's fine, but it's just the baseline. Yeah. And you can see where if people just did something a little bit differently, or if somebody picked a little bit or something, then how it can just grow to be like so much more than just that like bass song.
So I was gonna say, like Kahai is like, you don't really want to be doing that during the performance, and then to that I say, well why not? But if 10 people are doing that, maybe it doesn't sound great either. But pick your spots, pick your battles, pick your spots. If it sounds good in a place in the song, because you'll know the song pretty well, at that point.
Yeah, and I was just saying, like, you probably don't want to just like throw it all in too. Yeah. You want to be careful about where you put in those things.
Yeah.
It'll make your performance better, I think, instead of just going like, just listen to me play this like this, right now.
Right.
Because then it just if it's not the right spot, it'll just throw people off. People will be like, oh, I thought I was listening to like a calm, easygoing jam, and then all of a sudden this guy just came in with the drum solo. What?
Playing a different song than the rest of the band.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just kind of getting to know the groove and getting comfortable with the groove, following the groove, and then setting your own. Like and like Kahai said, kind of pick your spots and know when to add those things, but make sure that you're contributing something to the song instead of like distracting from it. You want to distract from the song, you want to contribute to it. So with that said, that's what, like another 5 minutes that I would work on that. So these are not going to take that long. 5 minutes of working on the chords, 5 minutes on strumming. I'm still going with the 30-minute structure of practice, because I still stand by anything longer than that, as far as retention goes, it starts to go down. After I get that, if there's any picking of any sort or any kind of riff that I should be doing, that's when I'll practice those. I'll start and I'll do it. I know it sounds boring, but line per line. I know a lot of people want to go like play the whole song already, and that's where I see a lot of students. I can tell that they practice the song, but they practice the song the whole song, and they're kind of try to play it. But I always tell people to zoom in on a part that's giving you a hard time. So in order to figure out what that is, take it line by line, so that you know which line you need to work on. There might be lines that that you'll find easier to play than others. So those others that are not that are giving you a hard time, that are not as easy for you to play, that's when you spend more time on. But you're gonna play all the lines, so that you play you're not only just gonna play the hard line. During the performance, you're gonna play all of it. So play all of it, but spend more time on the lines. And when I say lines, like for example, here's that song, Body Surfing. A line would be, that's one, and I would consider as another line, because this repeats. Yeah. So, but then you got so I would practice.
That's where it changes.
Yeah, that's where it changes. So those are two separate lines. Okay, so the first line I'm going to practice is, play it over. Make sure I get it. I play it at varying tempos. Just according to you use your metronome. I'm just kind of giving an example. Use your metronome. Start slow.
Basically, get to the point where you can play it in your sleep, or
Yes.
you don't have to really think about it.
And then I'll do. So even though I'm not playing the E string, I know that it's part of the it's part of the whole thing.
That's
so
where
I'm
you're
gonna
coming from before.
That's where you're coming from. Exactly. So I would practice that, and then I'd bridge them together, and then work on this next line. That's one line. Another line is, so on and so forth. Repeat, rinse, repeat, until you get the whole, the whole picking. Okay, work it line per line, and work on the ones that's giving you a hard time the most. All right. Now that's gonna be another 5-10 minutes. Let's just say 10 minutes. But you're probably saying, Aldrine, it's only 20 minutes. I thought you said 30-minute practice. Go ahead, Kahai. Sorry.
Well, I think we tell people this, and then they try and stick to it so hard, right? Like they're like, I'm doing 5 minutes of this, I'm doing 5 minutes of this, I'm doing 10 minutes of this, or 20 minutes of this. But it's kind of like those are good guidelines, but use your best judgment. Because if the song only has one chord, it's like you probably don't need to spend 5 minutes just practicing that one chord. Or if the song has 12 chords, or it has a bunch of chords, then you probably have to expand that 5-minute practice to whatever so you can get through all the chords.
Yeah, no one's gonna turn you in because you did 6 minutes of chord practice or 4 minutes of chord practice. Don't worry about it.
Did you in middle school, or did you take band in middle school too?
I sure did.
Did you have the practice sheets where
I sure did.
you're supposed to do I
Did I
not.
forge my practice sheets? I sure did.
Did I try to forge my practice sheets? I sure did. And did my parents catch me? They sure did.
But the thing is, I practiced, and I think I must have practiced even more than like what the practice sheet was supposed to be. But I just was so lazy to log it, and was so lazy to like, here, can you guys sign this before before I go to school?
I think
I did lie in terms of like,
They
how much
didn't see you
but
practicing, but you did.
But I did. So I don't know. It's a gray area. Kids, just do things honestly, please.
Yeah.
It's much easier.
But like you were saying, like we're not gonna call you out, or nobody's gonna call you out.
call you out for it. It's fine because you're only cheating yourself. If you cheat and you say you practice for half an hour, you only practice for 15. That's on you.
And I think people also think that they need to set 30 minutes, like a whole chunk of 30 minutes to practice, right?
Yeah.
But you can kind of break it down where it's like,
Yeah.
I only have 10 minutes right here. I have 10 minutes right there. I have,
Do what you can.
yeah. I've heard
you
of
can.
people who they leave their uke next to their work desk, and just whenever they have a break from work, they pick it up and they play. And
Yeah.
That's a good way to get stuff
Yeah.
in just whenever you can.
we've seen them improve by doing that. So yeah, you don't have to feel like
No.
I need to do it like this and I need to separate it into these blocks. It's like play to you, kind of adjust it to you.
So I know that it's 5 minutes, and 10 minutes, for the next one, for the last one we were talking about, and there's a 10-minute that's left. Now, so this is going to be a little controversial, okay? What key is that song in? So, for example, let's go back to the B7. I got caught up here in this body surfing thing, but we'll get back to it, okay? So G, B7, E minor, C minor. You're going to be in the key of G. How do you spend those last 10 minutes? I would practice the heck out of a G scale. Why? Because the song is in the key of G, okay? If I practice the G scale, I'll know every single notes in that key. So that gives me more of an understanding of that song. But more importantly, that 10 minutes of practice goes towards 10 minutes of overall practice with the ukulele. Okay, not only am I getting to know the song, I'm getting to know the key. So every other song that is going to be in the key of G, I'll have knowledge to. But how does that apply to the song that I'm playing? I'm glad you asked, Aldrine. So if I practice G scale, I know those notes, right? And then in extension, okay, so I have those notes as well. So if I'm playing G, it'd be kind of boring to just play it straight, right? But if I know my scale, I can play it. So people always ask me, like, how do you do all that extra stuff? It's because I know the scale. I know what notes to add. And those notes are basically safe notes in that scale. So if I'm playing G, so I can add this note to it. I can add this note to it. I can add that note. I can add this note to it if I want to. Those are just, because I know the key and I know what the safe zones are. If I'm playing E minor, so I can come up with like completely different voicings sometimes, and during the practice, I'll know if it sounds good or if it doesn't. So G. Okay, so that last 10 minutes should be in the scale, or practicing the scale, and I give it a big 10 minutes because it's not just getting better at the song, but it's getting better at all the songs that are going to be in G. And that's how I would do song practice.
Kind of earlier, like you did the right hand stuff, and it's kind of like at the end of the right hand stuff, you experimented with like going out of it,
rhythms, and
then so now it's like kind of you experiment with the left hand stuff too, right? Like, and you really want to see how far you can push it. So And you can start off. You don't have to start off with just like, or you don't have to start off with adding notes to chords right away, right? You can start off with just knowing what notes are safe on your fretboard, and like practicing that. So there's a ton of different ways to practice notes too. There's like skips, and there's all these different practices, or what is
so
it?
It's not just like straight.
Yeah.
You can do. Or you can even do like mode practice.
Yeah.
However you
Yeah.
want to, however you want to practice it.
And-
or you could take like G, do, 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 and know all the chords in
You
the
got-
chord family.
got there.
I got there.
Yeah.
I got
You
there.
got it there.
I stopped. Like I tripped a little bit, but I made it through the finish line.
Yeah. So when people when we tell people do scale practices, and they're like, oh, but if I do scale practices just for that whole hour, it's like they're only probably doing major scales and just going up and down the major scale. There's so many other like scale or key practices you can do, and just try them all, because you can definitely fill up 10 minutes easily by doing all of them.
Yeah. So, and I know a lot of people are like working on tunes and stuff. So use this kind of as a guide to get better at those things that you're working on. It's like, or if there are other things, if like the picking part, right? I said, focus on the different lines, and then put them into lines. You can do that as well if there's going to be a lot of chords. So you're playing a jazz song where it's like a lot of different chords and there's no like picking to it, or if there's a picking and there's a lot of chords, you can turn the chord changes into lines as well. Like is there a certain like kind of chord line that that you have? So for example, I'm going to embarrass myself here, but if the line goes, so that's like one line, and then the other line goes, and go back to that. So if you're having a hard time with this top line right here, just practice that top line and just do it slow. Do it again. If you have to, go back to the original like 5 minutes, which is like
Just
doing the
two of those chords.
doing the chords.
Yeah.
Doing the chords. But just for that one line. Because if you're gonna try to do it with these, it's gonna take too long.
Yeah.
So just separate it line by line. Isolate the line that you're having a hard time with, and then just practice just that. So know how to isolate your weaknesses and work on that part. So like, I'm not the guy that should be talking about this, but if if you're working out and you feel like, oh, it's my traps need work, or my
Wherever those are.
need work, you'd target your biceps, I guess, your triceps, or whatever. I mean, I've heard muscles exist somewhere in my body. I don't know where they are, but I would do that, I think.
I think I have a muscle, it's somewhere. I know it's somewhere,
but yeah, it's work out your musical muscle. That's what I.
The practice that I like hearing you give to people in like the one-on-one coaching and stuff is like you tell them to record them playing the song, like playing the chords of the song, and then play over it using like scales or using stuff and try and improvise some picking. But when you do that, you really learn like what notes you want to highlight or are important in what areas too, right? Yeah. And it kind of helps you get more selective with, if you're interested in improvising and stuff, it helps you make better lines for improvising, because you're not just we've heard like people, right, like where they just, it sounds like they're playing the scales up and down and they're kind of playing all the notes. Yeah. But really good improvisers are more selective about, it's not about playing all the notes, it's about playing certain notes in certain places, right? To be the most effective. So that's kind of another way to practice too, getting to know your key and your scale and everything.
All right. So, do we have questions from the audience? So I kind of just rambled on there because
There's
I was.
yeah. There's 2 questions, but I think we only have time for maybe one of these.
Okay.
So
Yeah, but see, that's exactly what I meant. I'm like, is there something we got to talk about? Because once I get started on this,
Yeah.
it's gonna be it.
yeah, well, if we don't get to these
Yeah.
questions, we'll save them too.
Okay. Well, I'll try to answer as much as I can. But what's the first one?
Patrick asked, "What if?" Because we talked about the practice is 30 minutes a day.
Right.
So he asked, "What if you have hours in a day?"
If you have hours in a day, I would spend that playing, like playing songs and stuff. Or if you feel like playing, you're playing the same thing over and over, maybe like just try to play a new song. Like it doesn't necessarily count towards practice because like, okay, cool, what's the chords to this, and just try to play. Play. If you have hours to play, go play. Another thing is if that's too boring for you, why don't you do the same thing that Kahai was talking about? Maybe record yourself playing a few chords and then just jam out. Maybe do a do an improv or whatever. An easier way to do this, I've been doing this lately, is YouTube has jam tracks. So you can just kind of search up like blues jam track in A or whatever, like choose your key, choose whatever genre you want to play in, and it just has a background for you, and then play in that key. And sometimes the the jam track tells you what key it's in or what are the notes you can choose from and stuff, and what the next chord is going to come up. It's super fun. That's what I would do for hours. If I had hours, I'd just jam that for hours. But like my kids like, nah, play with me, dad. So
yeah.
That's what I would do.
Like what I do for a warm up is I just go on YouTube and I look up playlists of. It's kind of funny because it's become such a stereotype, but like lo-fi playlists or even like all the places you see where it's like to chill and relax or to do homework to. I just put it on because I don't know what songs are coming up.
Yeah.
And I just start to try and improvise to them and then find, what key is being played and figure out what chords. And it just gets my hands working and gets my ear really working to hear for those things too.
Or, if you have plenty of hours in a day, why don't you, perform, perform not necessarily on a stage and stuff. Like, why don't you like make a video, send it to your friends, send it to your family. Like, hey, mom and dad, check out this song I just learned or whatever. Like, and just have fun. That's the time to have fun. You can even make a video, you can make it fancy. You can, or go on YouTube and search up like, how do I make a whatever kind of video? Like, or just have fun with it. At that point, I would just have fun.
Well, like for you, right? When you were learning and you had you had a period of time to do stuff, you said you would go through whole CDs, right? And try and play through the whole CD too. So if there's a CD that you like, just put it on and, don't stop to be like, what are the chords? What is the picking?
Feel around.
Just try and go through the whole thing by playing through the whole thing.
Yeah, it'll level you up as a musician.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to find all those spots that are tripping you up, or and then you can practice those things.
Right.
Yeah. So Renee asked, or she said, I'm trying to teach myself a riff from a guitar tutorial. Okay. I'm great with the E and A strings, but what do I do when they say a D string, second fret of C string sounds weird to my ear?
Let's see, like a D. Well, if you're talking about E and A strings on the guitar or I'm guessing you're talking about ukulele. So let's just rephrase this question as I'm learning a guitar riff, and I'm looking at tabs. I'm guessing, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so looking at tabs for the guitar and transposing them over to ukulele. Right off the bat, I would just do the +5. Okay, so. The bottom 4 strings +5 is going to be that, but you're probably asking, well, what about the bottom 3 strings? If you have a low G, you just have to worry about the bottom 2 strings. Now the bottom 2 strings, because you don't have the bottom 2 strings of the ukulele, that's when I would take it up here. Now if you bar the 7th fret, it then becomes 0 of the guitar. But if you're talking about the top 2 strings, it's actually the bottom 2 strings of your ukulele. So the E and A bass on the guitar is the same thing as your E and A strings on the ukulele. So if there's a line where it goes like, let's see, I'm trying to think of a line of that would like on the spot, like trying to think of something.
You can't you're not supposed to use the exact like you can't
Guitar
use
tab,
you
yeah.
can't use guitar tabs for ukulele.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I think what Renee is trying to do
You're
too,
just
right?
taking the E and A
Yeah, and then
strings and then doing that.
thinking about
Yeah.
the D string too. Like she's like,
Mhm.
oh, what do I play for the D string? But
Yeah.
for ukulele, it doesn't get higher than the E and A strings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
But,
kind of have to think about it differently.
You can, the D string on the guitar, if you're doing it that way, would just be equivalent to your 5th fret. So if it's going to be, so you just do a +5, to your A string. So if it says like D string 2nd fret, for example, it would be the equivalent to your A string 7th fret because it's 5 plus a 2. So I would just do the +5 method to the A string. I know that's kind of complicated or whatever, but if
Yeah.
you really want to do that, E and A is equivalent is to the E and A of your strings. Anything on the D string of the guitar is equivalent to anything +5 on the A string.
Yeah. I think at this point, it might be better for you to look at the actual notes that are
notes.
being played.
Yeah.
And when you look at the notes, just take the notes and apply it to the notes on your ukulele. It's kind of like it's almost like putting Google Translate through 2 layers, but you'll get a more accurate representation of what it's supposed to sound like than
Yeah.
if you just like try and do the E and A kind of,
it's tough because I would, if it's like a guitar riff, you might even have to like transpose it to what works for the ukulele, like
Yeah.
in its range, So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a tricky question.
Yeah.
but-
So we actually have a diagram where it's like all the notes on a guitar
Mhm.
and how it's related to an ukulele. So I'm gonna put that in the chat, and Kahai will put it in the show notes as well. But from that you can kind of figure out, like, if you're reading a tab, you can find the note that get, like, if you're reading a guitar tab and it says whatever E string 7th fret, you can figure out what that note is
yeah.
on the guitar by finding that dot, and then you can see what that translates to on your ukulele.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the way I would do it is I would play all the everything on the E string. I would play it on my C string, or try to, because that's the lowest string on the ukulele. Or, if you have a re-entrant ukulele, that's the lowest string.
Yeah.
And then try and play everything that's on the A string, play it on my E string, and play everything on the D string, play it on my A string.
Yeah.
And you can you gotta change, your fingers aren't gonna look the same as the guitar player who's playing it, but it's probably gonna be like within a box, or it's gonna be within 4 frets, around there. And it'll feel better to play on the ukulele than if you kind of just take a direct 1-for-1
Yeah.
from guitar to
And then
ukulele.
there are a bunch of notes on the guitar that are way lower than the ukulele will be able to play. So you just pretty much either have to transpose it to
Or maybe
a higher
higher,
octave or whatever, or just disregard those. So there isn't any one-to-one translation from guitar to ukulele, but you can try.
It's gonna take a lot of transposing and
Yeah.
It's
So-
kind of you're compromising to try and get the best result. You're not
Yeah.
like gonna
Yeah.
just do it exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
But it's possible. Like you can definitely take guitar songs and turn it into ukulele. Like that's
I think
friggin' Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
I'm like listening to it. I'm like, there's no way I can do this. And someone did, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess you could. I guess you could.
the one that I think of is like when you play Blackbird, right? Because I play Blackbird too, and we were talking about it. And I'm like, oh, what about these notes? And he said, well, I try to hit the most important notes,
Yes.
and like I do the notes that I can and hit the most important notes, and you're just trying to get as best as you can.
Yeah.
And
If the song is still recognizable as the song on ukulele, then you did your job.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. With that said, thank you so much for tuning in to Thursday Live Lesson. We do this every Thursday at 1 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. So come join us via UU Plus. If you don't know what that is, go to ukuleleontheground.com and sign up for UU Plus to take your ukulele playing to the next level via, extra shows like this. You can participate and talk to us in the chat and ask your questions. UU Plus also allows you to get 2 private lessons with yours truly a month, so make sure you sign up for that, and you get tons and tons and tons of extra content over at Ukulele on the Ground, including guest teachers and master classes and Ukulele Underground University and lots of extra goodies. So make sure you check out UE Plus at Ukulele Underground's Aldrine. On behalf of Kahai and Aaron, we'll see you next time. Aloha, and stick around for one-on-one coaching and tomorrow for Aloha Friday Live Jam. Yes.
New play along on Sunday.
New play along on Sunday.
I think
Because it's the
first.
first.
Yeah, I think the
So if I don't see you guys tomorrow, happy Halloween for those of you folks who observe Halloween, and we'll see you then.
Sorry, do we also want to say that we might not be here next week?
Yes.
Sorry.
We might not be. I totally forgot. Thank you for bringing that. See, that's why you pay the big bucks, guy. I might not be here, more specifically next week. So I don't know if you guys want to do an Aaron and Kahai show. Totally fine with me. Someone can be in the hot seat and answering questions, or be a totally different show altogether.
Hey,
But
guys.
I won't be here. I have something. I have plans. Let's just
Maybe it'll just be me and Aaron eating all the leftover Halloween candies.
It'll be a mukbang.
So who knows? But as of right now, there's no there probably won't be a Thursday and Friday show. That means no Thursday live lesson, no one-on-one coaching, and no Aloha Friday live jam for next week. That's as of right now. But who knows? It'll change. So just keep it locked in at Ukulele Underground. Who knows? But I won't be there. So maybe these two guys will do something. Who knows? We'll see. If not, I'll see you next time. Aloha.